Okay, let's talk about that feeling, that, sinking feeling when your paycheck just seems to evaporate. Today, we're going to break down the story of how one person went from that exact crisis to actually taking back control of their money. And they did it with just a few simple, really powerful tools. I want you to just imagine this for a second. Your paycheck hits your account, you feel that quick flash of relief, and then poof, it's gone. For Alex, a 28-year-old, this wasn't some kind of exaggeration. It was his reality. A whole month's salary just gone in a single day of impulsive buying. I mean, that's a situation that could feel totally hopeless, right? So how does somebody even start to climb out of that hole and get to a place of financial stability, let alone confidence? Well, that's the journey we're going to unpack right now. To really get how Alex found a fix, we've got to look a little closer at what was actually happening. This wasn't just about one bad day with a shopping cart. It was a deeper, recurring thing. See, this cycle of spending, it came from a mix of things that made managing money incredibly tough. It was creating this constant cloud of stress and, financial chaos in his life. So what was really driving all this? Well, it was kind of like a perfect storm. At the very center of it was a real difficulty managing impulses, which for Alex was connected to his experience with FASD, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Now, that's a condition that can affect what we call executive functions, stuff like planning for the future and controlling those I want it now urges. This made handling money a completely unique challenge for him. But here is where the whole story pivots. Just one single change became the turning point for Alex, and it started him on a path toward real, genuine financial control. And that change kicked off with getting professional help. His therapist didn't just sit there and talk about the problem. No, they brought in a really practical, hands-on approach. The big insight was realizing this wasn't about willpower. Not at all. It was about finding the right strategy outside of himself. So what was this new approach? It all came down to a financial toolkit with 3 simple but honestly brilliant strategies. These weren't just abstract concepts. They were concrete things he could do that made a difference right away, mainly because they were designed to work with his brain, not fight against it. Okay, let's break these down because this is where it gets really clever. Each tool basically made the tough job of self-control simple and external. First, the money jars. They made spending physical. You can literally see the cash for your bills, which makes it way harder to borrow from it on an impulse. Then you have the digital limits. These created automatic guardrails on his bank account to stop the overspending before it could even happen. And finally, the spending calendar. Now, this wasn't about feeling guilty. It was just for data, just to see the patterns without any judgment attached. So with these tools in his back pocket and the right kind of support, Alex's whole relationship with money started to transform. And the change was, wow, it was night and day. That vicious cycle of impulsive, stress-fueled spending, it got replaced by calm, deliberate, planned budgeting. And that feeling of constant financial dread, it gave way to this new, incredible sense of confidence and control. And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The big takeaway here is that real financial control isn't some sudden, dramatic personality change. It's about putting small, practical, and consistent tools in place that help you build better habits. For Alex, these tools gave him the structure he needed to build that major, lasting confidence. And that leaves us with something to think about. Looking at this toolkit, the visual jars, the digital guardrails, the simple calendar, what's one single tool that you could try right now to bring just a little more clarity and confidence to your own financial life? Thanks for joining us.